Okay, so we're going to finish up with just another button style at the bottom of this section, just to look at how we can style a different button with a different class. So let's go in and first of all just add this button. So where does this button need to be? Well, it needs to be down here. It just says show more. So let's go ahead and just add that. So after all of these rows, let's go ahead and just literally add an anchor down here. And we'll give this an href of hash, and we'll just say show more. Obviously this isn't going to do anything. By default it will look like this, so just show more. And now we're going to go ahead and start to add classes to it, as we did with the header. Remember, we add a class of button to this, so we're going to do the same for this little piece of text down here. So class equals button, or class attribute button, and there we go, we've got a button there, and we've got this sort of blue color here. Now the button primary we set was black color, so if we just go over to our custom style sheet, we've got button primary with a background of 3A, 3A, 3A and a color of FFF. So we don't want to set it to the background the button primary, because we've already got that. So let's use button secondary instead. So the secondary button is now going to be white. This hasn't changed a thing, it stays the same, but in our custom style sheet we'll go ahead and say button secondary, and we'll start to apply styles here to make it look like it is in the design. What we'll also do is go ahead and target that section, that recent section, to set a margin at the top of this button as well. We're not going to include that in the original button styles, because if you want to use that elsewhere, then it will become troublesome. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to apply a reverse of this button primary here. So I'm going to set the background to FFF while setting the color to 3A, 3A, 3A. In actual fact, I'm going to change these to the background color property. I know it doesn't matter too much, but there we are. So now we've got a button here saying show more. Now we've got this hover problem again, so we can just go ahead and copy this, and we can go down and we can say button secondary hover. So then we get a white button. When we hover over it, nothing happens. So let's go ahead and give this a class of show more. And the reason I'm going to do that is because now within the recent section at the bottom, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to target show more, and I'm going to set the margin at the top to be, I don't know, 40 pixels maybe. And let's take a look at what that looks like, and there we go. So we've now got this show more button at the bottom. We could go ahead and we could set the weight of this button as well if we wanted to, but generally it looks the same. So we've now got the full design sorted. So we've come from the header here, and we've come all the way down to the bottom at this just show more button that we've just created now. So we've got two button styles here. We've got a primary, which has been styled slightly differently based on the fact it's in the header, and we've got a button secondary, which is I've just left as default, which we could of course then just say font weight 600 or something like that, and change the font weight of that to show more, however you want to style it. But that is basically how we create our secondary button and add that to the bottom of this section.